My name's Caitlin. I'm from Podiatry Beyond in Mitchelton, and today I'll be running through a short routine that you can use to help strengthen your foot and ankle muscles. So this is a basic routine. It shouldn't be causing you any discomfort or pain while you're doing it. If you do have any foot concerns, I would recommend seeing a health professional where they can give you some tailored advice. So you can be doing this kneeling, like myself, or seated on a chair as well. So we'll work through 30-second intervals with a 10-second rest where you can get ready for the next exercise. So the first one we're starting off with is big toe lifts while keeping these little toes down, okay? So you're trying not to scrunch these little toes over too much, activating through the top of this big toe as much as you can, and really think about engaging all those muscles underneath your feet. Now, if you feel this is too challenging to begin with, hold on to your little toes. So then they stay down while you're still lifting up your big toe. This will help that mind and muscle connection. So moving the other side now. Lifting up that big toe, keeping all these little toes down. You might find this a bit easier on one foot compared to the other foot. This is pretty normal. And like me, when I'm not concentrating for a few seconds, my toes just start to do their own thing. So try to stay focused while you're doing it. Really think about those muscles engaging as well. And it will become easier the more that you do it. Now, next up, we have little toe lifts. So not just your baby toe, but all of these little toes, I want them to come up and your big toe to stay down. So trying not to roll the ankle in while you do this, keep the foot as flat as possible, and then we're just thinking about lifting those little toes. And again, if you need to hold down your big toe to start off with, just so you can get the right things engaged, completely fine. I do like to hold it for a few moments at the top rather than coming up and down too quickly. Perfect. And now moving on to the side, keeping the big toe down, lifting these little toes up. And if you can try to spread the toes out as well once you're at the top. And you might notice this arch activating underneath here as well when you do push that big toe down. Now the next one that we'll be moving on to is arch lifts or arch doming. So we've got a few more seconds left of this one. And then switching back to the other foot. Now we're thinking about pulling this big toe joint back to the heel and engaging, lifting through this arch. Okay, so it's only a really subtle movement. If you have high arches, you might not even notice that you're doing anything. But the main thing is that you're feeling this muscle engaging underneath your foot. Again, coming back to those toes, not to let them scrunch over to help you out too much. We want all of the movement to be coming from here. And don't be surprised if you do get a bit of a foot cramp. That's completely fine. It just tells us that we need to work on those muscles a little bit more to help strengthen them further. So moving on to the other side. And I have to really concentrate with this foot because my second toe wants to scrunch over to help me out. But try to keep them nice and relaxed. Keep that big toe on the ground as much as you can and try not to curve out too much as well. Keeping the foot as flat as possible. Now we're going to be working on the ankles and the calf muscles. So if you can make your way over to a chair, bringing the feet underneath you and then thinking about them being hip width distance apart. And then we're going to be coming up and down. Now when you come up, try not to hyperextend forward or out off those little toes. We want a lot of the engagement to be off the big toe and the second toe. Now we're going to be putting a little bit more resistance one. So one leg at a time, bringing the other leg to the side and thinking about putting a bit more pressure through that knee to make it harder. Now, if this is too hard, sit back in the chair. That's also completely fine, but we want to try to target that calf muscle as much as possible. Now we say to push through the big toe, second toe, because that is the ideal way to be propelling forward when you're walking. When you do push off those little toes a little bit too much, that's when we can sometimes see injuries, different sort of foot conditions, and different sort of leg and ankle pains as well. Now put as much as you would like through the leg. Try to keep it even as much as you can through each side. You can be grabbing a dumbbell or a filled up water bottle to sit on your knee too. That can be really helpful, rather than you using your hands to push through the legs. And you'll notice it, my leg is shaking a little bit, completely normal. Awesome. So that is level 1 of foot and ankle strengthening exercises. We will be bringing out a level 2, so stay tuned for that if you would like to progress these further and challenge yourself a little bit.